I think I should post more often on YouTube. To be honest, it's pretty dry here. But let's not talk about this right now. I'm back with a new video. Today I want to show you how I made these sweatpants for Balenciaga in collaboration with ADIDAS. So let's open Photoshop and let's not waste any more time. I started by importing and positioning the logo. I wanted it to give the appearance of a metal badge, like kind of a buckle, but like directly on the pants. It seemed to me that it would fit perfectly into the vision I had. To do this, I opened the blending options and using bevel and emboss, I created this look. You can use the same settings for a similar look and you can play with light and shadows. Now that I'm done, I've scaled down the element and used the skew mode to give it a more pleasant appearance. For an even more realistic look, I also added these sparks to it and reduced their opacity. I removed those holes from the design because they were from a previous idea and I thought they wouldn't fit anymore. Anyway, I selected the part of the pants where I wanted that separation between sweatpants and jeans to be, and I removed it. I imported the jeans from which I'll extract the part I want on my design, and I positioned them to match the sweatpants. I removed the rest of the pants and only left the part that I'm gonna use, and I arranged it using the warp tool. I extracted some materials here from an image and used it on my design to highlight that separation between jeans and sweatpants. And after that, I added some shadows for contrast. I used another type of materials here to overload that space and play with the lights and shadows. I added a specific element, the three lines, using the rectangle tool and then opened the blending options to give them a fabric look. I grouped the layers and added them to the other leg of the pants. Then the same thing, I made some shadows for contrast. For the bottom of the pants, I selected the area where I wanted the print to be, I removed it, and then imported this camo pattern. I arranged the layer in that space using the warp tool. And then I did the same thing as on the superior area. I extracted some material tiers from an image and used them to separate the sweatpants part from the jeans part. By using the levels layer, I play with the lights and then I desaturated the print by adding a piece of the pants on top of it, then using the blending mode. Of course, I added some shadows for this area as well, and then I copied it to add it to the other leg of the pants. The next thing I did was to create these holes. I chose to do it manually using my brush tools. I blended them together and then added this rip effect on the edges. Then for a more realistic effect, I added a piece of material on top and used blending mode to give that inside effect. I added this texture over the entire mockup to create a washed effect. And finally, I wanted this pants to be triple waisted, so I imported a pair of Balenciaga shorts that are double waisted and placed them inside like my mockup. And for the final touches, I changed the three ADIDAS lines because I thought they were too imposing. And then I darkened the inside of the two holes I made earlier. And this is how the final design came out. It was a much longer process than the one in the last video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Remember, this is just a concept, it is not a design for sale, because I was asked this. But if you have a clothing brand and you want a custom design, do not hesitate to leave me a message on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on TikTok, leave me a follower there too, because I post weekly videos with the designs I make. The same thing with Pinterest, you can see them there too. And pretty much that's it. See you in the next video.